Hello, YouTube, Ronin Kaze. Late. Hey, I'm in the Division 2. And this video is going to be a little bit different. This isn't really to single anyone out in particular. It's a type of player. And if you could like, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, share, maybe donate, or help support the channel, I'd appreciate it. So, I'm doing Legendary, Tidal Basin. Second hardest Legendary, in my opinion. And I'm just coming in straight off, and this group already has people down. I'm starting at the beginning of the zone, and then come in. I have my healing build. In general, that'll keep people up, and we can sustain. I'm doing some tech damage, but also we get some healing back, so it's kind of good for Legendary. When we have a decent group, I would do the Vial Jammer, and then it'd be fine. What you got to think about when you're doing Legendaries is this. You have a build, and even if you play Heroic, the Division 2 is easy to solo, which I've shown you time and time again. You can solo all content on Heroic. The game scales, right? So that makes it easy to do that.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
In Legendary, it's a little bit different. One of the big differences between Legendary and Heroic is Legendary has a lot of purples and reds that do a lot of damage to builds that are elite protected, right? So then you gotta target a little bit different. So I'm gonna come up, this is kind of like after you jump in, you've cleared the first wave, the second wave of Chunga's gonna come down, and there we go. You can see that I got full screen, so this isn't a cinematic to see how wonderful it is. This is a video about life. And it's about self-awareness and about, you know, really self-awareness. And that's Roxy. It's early in the morning, so I might be a little bit quiet. You play video games on one level, and then when you get in harder content and it's you're new at it, you haven't put in the time to understand what the game's going to take. So you're going to think it's everyone else or some other thing, or I tripped, my shoelaces came untied, or I ran out of gas that day. And then, but YouTube, it's not that. I wouldn't go into Fortnite, Rainbow Six, any of those games, any of those shooter games. I don't know the maps that well, so I wouldn't want to go into the hardest content against real people and not know the maps. I'm just going to stink. It doesn't matter how good. I don't know the mechanics of that game, the shooting of that game. And even though I played it on PvE, and Legendaries are kind of like PvP light. Let's say. They're not as good as a human, but they're way better than Heroic. And normally you can tell that by someone's watch level in Division. But right off the bat, like in this group, we're kind of split, and we got some people that go forward, YouTube. Now, I've been going in groups lately where they've gone forward, but these are groups with really high level people with really fantastic builds, not glass cannons. So there's one thing I see a lot of videos of people that are like, oh, I do insane amount of DPS. Against, not against, you just can't take the hits if you're built for full damage. I mean, that's the great thing about the game, and that's the great thing about life. If you're all one way, you're eventually not going to be successful that way, because when life gets tough, you need some nuance and things. Part of this starts with self-awareness. What's the difference between reading and listening to an audiobook? It's completely different. It's a completely different input of the experience. So it's different, right? It's different. Doesn't make it better or worse, but it's just different. When you discount people's experiences because they're different, because you think you know what you're doing, you're going to run into problems. And so you've heard me when I played Diablo on normal with Spiritborn character, and then when I went in like harder, not the hardest hard mode, but pretty high, 125% XP game, I just got my ass kicked. Yeah, there's a video where I'm just getting smoked constantly. So at this point, do I have people down yet? No, no one's down. I'm going back and forth and trying to support both sides. One of the things in the division that happens when you push, the enemies start to try to flank. So if you're pushing all in one way, then they go around the sides. A great example of that is Capital. If you all go on the right side in Capital after the first area, after you clear the going up the hill, you'll just push them down on the left side and they'll flank you and kill you. So this guy's died in the most inopportune position. Normally with this build, I can get killed once, my armor breaks, but then, you know, I got an extra. So I either got to wait for it to reset, another person comes over, and we're having problems. If I had a decoy, if I was in my Vile Jammer, I'd still be putting pressure on him with damage over time, and I'd throw out a decoy and I'd be able to res this guy easy. But nope, YouTube, I'm going to go down. And so we're going to wipe. And I came in and someone had already left. They had already wiped. So we're starting over. So this guy goes, do you want a 2-man? This is the guy that was died way out there. So that's why this is all red. I fast forwarded. He's down again. We're not even in the second part. He's by himself. He doesn't have a build that can do this. He can kill people fast, but he's a glass cannon. So I get him up. He gets out of there. I heal. I go down here. I'm just trying to run, and I just get smoked. Guess what, YouTube? We're going to wipe here. 3, 2, 1. Because he's way too far overextended. Previously, when we got into this version, he was like, man, I ran out of ammo. Now we're doing this again, and now more people are coming. I'm going to fast forward again to the same section we died before. Where is your self-awareness? If you say to yourself, who's the asshole in the room? The joke goes, it's you. And so we all go over. This is not a group that can push forward. This isn't one of those groups. This guy said we should have all red builds. He's obviously never even finished this. You would never finish it. You need some of both. If you do not have someone suppressing drones, you're going to get overwhelmed on any of these things when you're going against the Black Tusk. So that's the thing about life. It's okay to fail, like we said before. That's how you learn. But this is a guy, and I played with him though. We wiped 4 times now, and we didn't succeed. This isn't. I'm not going to show you a video where we succeeded. We persevered. You too. No, we didn't. But this is also what this channel is about. I want to show you. Okay, this is on Linux, and you can see I got the stats up there at the top. This is my new whoop-de-doo. I bought a bare bones mini PC and threw 60 gigabytes from my Flow X, and it's NV, it's SSD in there. So I'm gaming on that. Of course, it's in cache. OS. And of course, it doesn't support the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so I got it plugged into my network, and these headphones are for reals, YouTube, this time. And I got a plugged in keyboard and a plugged in mouse, so it's like retro, it's 1990 gaming. But I kept all that stuff because I know if you have anything that you do with computers, you're always going to need a physical keyboard, you're always going to need a physical mouse. So this guy's going to push forward quite a bit. Now, normally people don't push forward until in this section of the map, until the helicopter spawns in the back, and maybe they'll go out there to get that, then they'll kind of pull back. What happens is, here's the brilliance of the game design. It has a target, it pulls the undisciplined out to it, and then it launches the next wave, splits you, so the people are out and the people are back. They get split in two, right? You don't know the map, but you're just going to keep on going. We need all red builds. You die. How about you not die? Let's do the math, YouTube, and I'm clapping. Let's do the math. No matter how sweet your build is, if you die, let's say you have the sweetest build in the world, you're just reducing your damage of your group by so much. If you're Mr. Whoop-de-doo damage guy, then you're really killing them. And it's a legendary. It's going to take 25 to 40 minutes anyways.
Vital signs critical.
You can be in a group that's fast. Tidal Basin's not a fast, easy group. So what are you doing in your life that's just oblivious? Who are you oblivious to? Why do I say this to you now? I'm an old codger, so I have that thrown in my face all the time. Whether my kids explain to me, or my wife explains to me, or my coworkers explain to me. Why do I take it now than before? So when I was a little bit younger, I had risen to a point where I was making the decisions and I had a lot of people relying on me and I took their counsel, but I was ultimately responsible for it. And as I've gotten older, I've realized I'm not running a business at home. I'm not running a business with my kids. That's the family part. So the dichotomy is, like on the one hand, I'm successful doing this one thing, but on the other hand, it doesn't work with families. Great. If my granddaughter, right, if I'm lucky enough to live and I can play games with my granddaughter, I will teach her. Don't push forward, it's not now. So YouTube,
An agent needs assistance.
what are you doing? And I'm saying this in the United States for the folks in the United States. Rest of the world, I love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming and visit. But we got a holiday coming up. What are you going to do that's different to make it better? For yourself. One of the things that we forget about when we do good things for other people, it benefits ourselves. My most famous video is why help other people. It's my most famous video. I had just reached level 99, in the helper levels. This guy was like level 35. So he's obviously played, but you're not getting those levels for helping people in legendaries because it takes so long. So you can see that we're looking downrange, everything's okay, and you can see the people coming over there splitting. So now we're split. This is the beginning of the end, YouTube. So how do I fix this in my life, Ronin? Well, number one, gotta listen. Number two, you gotta step back and look at yourself in the situation objectively. You don't have to admit this to everyone. That's tough, right? That's tough to say to someone, I was wrong, or I've been an a-hole, or I've been this. I'm not asking you to do that. That's, man, next level kind of stuff. What I'm asking you to do is for you to be able to recognize, you know what I did yesterday? What that guy, what I would hope for him or her is that they would reconsider what they did and say, man, I kind of wipe group after group after group after group. I'm the main damage dealer and I keep going down. I've spent all this time building the greatest build in the world and I die a lot. What happens when you die in a video game? People got to go out to res you. So now there's even less damage going out while they're jerking around. And that's usually how most groups die. It's a chain reaction of resing people. What's the equivalent in real life? The equivalent in real life is you're a drag on your family, you are emotionally stunted in some way, and everyone has to work around you, and you never try to fix it. And you never look at yourself and say, hey, how could I change to make this better? And you can't do it all in one day, right? It's little chunks of things. Long time ago, got out of the military, went and worked for a company, was a field service technician. I was on the road all the time in factories for weeks and months at a time. And it's not the most glamorous life. I'd go back to the hotel, have pizza, drink Cokes every day, and eventually I got real fat. And it didn't take that long to get fat, especially getting out of the military, right? And so over like that, once I had gotten to the point where I had signs like, hey, you gotta change your life, I changed my life. And over the next 12 years, I lost shitloads of weight. Over 12 years, you do. If you lose 5 pounds a year, over 12 years, that's 60 pounds. That's a pound every quarter. Are you willing to invest in yourself that much? To just have a 25% change a year, to have a 1 pound, have 5 pounds a year change, YouTube? And we're not just talking about weight, that's everything. So for this person, what would I say to everyone? At a certain point, right, you're not gonna do it. You're gonna do what you're gonna do. Let me see how much time we got left. But that's the name of this channel, Irreconcilable. Do you want to be irreconcilable, that you can never come to a better spot? Nope, that's just how I am, YouTube. Once an a-hole, always an a-hole. Or are you going to be able to change a little bit? And the easiest thing is this: if you can't change for yourself, change for other people. That's what we're doing. There we go, YouTube. There we go. This is Ronin Kaze. Hope you have a wonderful day. Good morning, YouTube. Bye.
Agent killed. An agent has left your group. An agent is no longer in your group. You are no longer in a group.